wherever you may be in the world. Thank you for joining me for another edition of the Truth Conductor Show. Um, Happy Wednesday, everybody. How y'all doing today? Hope you had a wonderful day. Um, of course, every day above ground is a great day, regardless to what's going on in your life. If you're alive, you got a chance to do something about your situation. When you're gone, it's a wrap. It is a wrap when you're gone. So be grateful, man, for every day that you might get the chance to experience. I want to give y'all an update on my arrest last week. Last Tuesday, I was arrested for panhandling. Shock, what's going on, brother? You're the first one up in here. Thank you for joining me. I was arrested for panhandling last week by this park police, and he had a thing for me because 2 years ago I made him apologize on camera. I made that joker apologize on camera, and he been gunning for me ever since. But today, listen, y'all. See, hey, life, man. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Listen, don't ever be afraid to file a complaint about a person, because you don't know how many complaints they've gotten before you, okay? And you don't even know if that person is liked by his coworkers or her coworkers, okay? You don't even know if they're liked. See, a lot of y'all take it personal and don't want to, you vent and you do all that other stuff, but that's as far as it's gonna go. So I filed a complaint with Internal Affairs. That's what I did. That's one of the first things I did was I filed a complaint with Internal Affairs against this cop. And today I got a response. A detective emailed me. First he said, matter of fact, let me read the email to you. Here's what he said. Hold on, let me get it. All right, Mr. Folden, good afternoon. This message below has been received by the United States Park Police Internal Affairs Unit. The office investigates allegations of misconduct by United States Park Police employees. After reading your email, I have a few questions. In your email, you advised that you were playing music in Lafayette Park on Tuesday, February 24, 2026, and had a donation bucket. You also advised the little donations that I get is how I keep my head above water. It appears that Officer Troyer charged you with illegal panhandling. I would like to offer the opportunity to have Officer Troyer's supervisor to contact you to address your concerns regarding law enforcement actions and procedures. And first of all, let me tell you something. See, I talked to his sergeant when I first got arrested, and she was in favor of what he was doing. I went back down and talked to another sergeant, and he was in favor of his actions. So me talking to another sergeant is mute. Why would I go and talk to somebody that I know ain't gonna give me the benefit of the doubt. Okay, but listen, I would like to offer you the opportunity to have Officer Troya's supervisor contact you to address your concerns regarding law enforcement actions and procedures. You may also take the opportunity to inquire with the sergeant regarding if all the evidence from the arrest need to be kept until the court date, or if there's an alternative available, i.e., would the court accept a photo of certain evidence? If you wish to file a complaint after that conversation regarding misconduct of Officer Troyer, you may do so immediately via that supervisor. Alternatively, you can reply to this email and I will personally initiate the complaint. Please advise if you are agreeable to speaking with the supervisor and deciding if you want to file a complaint afterwards. Okay? So this was my response, okay? So this was my response. Wait a minute, let me go back. Now, see, they just told me that, okay, ooh, shit. I'm gonna get my stuff, man. I'm gonna get my stuff. All right, let me see here. So this was my response to Internal Affairs. I also have a sign that says, stop hating each other because you disagree, which I've had on display for 6 years, and he confiscated it. Officer Troyer does not like people of color, and in the 6 years that I've been at that location, I've seen him personally treat some of those kids selling water and ice cream like shit. And he confiscate their stuff and won't even give them an inventory. And when I asked him for an inventory of my property, he refused to give me one. According to DC law, you can only be arrested for aggressive panhandling, which I'm not guilty of, nor did I get a citation. If it was not personal, what person in their right mind would confiscate a sign trying to bring people together? I've talked to a couple of sergeants at that location, and they both seem to back him up, so I'd like to move forward with you if possible. I'm going to attach a video from a couple of years ago that I think has made him want to get me. He's the only officer that I've ever had a problem with at this location of all of the men and women that work there. He's just trying to inflict as much financial pain and suffering on me as he possibly can. I didn't know that I could apply for a First Amendment demonstration permit for 4 months, and I have. And if I can get my property back, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay? And I sent him, see, this is the video. Wait a minute. This is the video. Hold on.
Sir, have I did what, sir?
Read the superintendent's compendium.
No, what is that, sir?
About from Lafayette Park.
Okay, but I'm not in the park, sir. I'm not in the park, sir. I'm not in the park. I'm on Pennsylvania Avenue, sir. So as my application on Pennsylvania Avenue has nothing to do with you. None whatsoever, sir. My application, sir, my application has nothing to do with you. I'm not in Lafayette Park. Okay, I'm on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Fair enough. I'll let you go with that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, my man.
But can you just maybe keep it down a little bit so everybody's not... That's why you got it right now. Is that fair?
No, man, but I've been out here 4 years, sir. Nobody has ever... matter of fact, they enjoy my music. Right. You're the first officer that came that said that I shouldn't have music pointed at the White House. When every protest come down here, they got their stuff pointed at the White House. Don't nobody say nothing to them.
Well, if you're on the White House sidewalk or on Lafayette Park,
sir, I'm not in.
This is basically.
Sir, I'm not on the sidewalk. I'm not in Lafayette Park.
Fair enough.
I'm in. So can I get an apology?
I apologize, sir.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why he been gunning for me. Because I made him apologize. Okay? I made him apologize. And I sent this to Internal Affairs. And I sent them a picture. Let me show you, man. I sent that. I sent a picture of me with my sign. Hold on a second here. See, I sent a picture of me and my sign, and I told him, I said, his name ain't even on nothing. On my to appear in court, the notice I got to appear in court, his name ain't on it. My inventory list, his name ain't on it. And I didn't get no citation. And he just sent me another email and told me the case officer is the best person to speak to regarding this information. However, as you may not wish to speak with Officer Troyer, his supervisor may be able to assist. And he gave me his email. Okay? And I'm going to email him and see, can I get my stuff back? All right? But see, you know, if you don't take the time, man, to defend yourself, people going to always fuck over you. I mean, that's just it in a nutshell. All right? You gonna have to stand up and speak for yourself. Okay? And don't worry about it, because again, you don't know what's the status of this person. Because when I went down to, I got my inventory. I went down and got my inventory. This is my inventory. All the stuff that they took from me. And the guy told me, he's a conductor. He said, listen, man, he said, some people go overboard, some don't. He said, man, I seen you down there for a hot minute. And you know, you've never been an issue for me. He said, but everybody's different. That's what he told me. Everybody's different. He said, but you ain't never been a problem for me. I seen you down, and nor any of the other people that come down there. Okay? All right? But this is what I got. So I'm gonna get on this thing and I'm gonna see, because see, the pressure is on him now. Now that Internal Affairs is looking at, and I told him, man, he dogged them young boys that was out there selling, I mean, 100 degrees and selling ice cream and cold water, man. He dogged them. Take their shit, man, and wouldn't even give him an inventory of what he took. He just take the ice cream carts, the coolers, all of that. What are you doing with all that stuff? What have you done with all of that? If you take their stuff and don't give them an inventory, what you doing with it? Okay, what you doing with it? So they gonna look into that. They gonna look into it. So now that the complaint, and like I told him, you know, I'm not trying to. I don't even want to talk to this guy, because I know he's an asshole. I don't even want to come near him. I want all of the pressure for him to come over him. That's where I want the pressure to come from, over him. You see, and you don't know, you know, I don't know how serious their internal affairs take this. Okay, but I'm it's gonna be interesting to see. And see, and now that I have this, and see, I'm gonna email this sergeant. I'm gonna email him tonight and tell him this detective told me to ask, is it possible for you to take pictures of my property for court instead of holding it? And see, and let me tell you something. See, you don't know, you never know who's saying your name in behind closed doors. Okay? You never know. And see, and by me now stating, I done sent a picture of me and my sign looking like this. So you can't say I'm a bum. Okay? You can't say I'm a bum. And see, and now everybody got that video. See, that video is gonna circulate. Everybody got that video now. And you don't know where it's gonna go or how far it's gonna go. But if you just sit down, bitching and itching and scratching, and don't start implementing some stuff, don't start doing some stuff, man, it's gonna be it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same. So I'm and I just went down and found out that I can apply for a First Amendment demonstration permit. Yes, I am a conductor. I'm the true conductor. Yes, I am. Yeah, I am a conductor, the true conductor. Nothing but a messenger from God. I didn't, my mama was a preacher, my daddy was a preacher, and the one thing I didn't want to do is step foot in no pulpit. Okay? I didn't want to step foot in no pulpit. So God said, okay, since you ain't gonna step foot in the pulpit, I'll use you in the street. I'll use you in the street, buddy. You don't want to go into the pulpit? I'm still gonna use you. I'm still, because anybody can be a true conductor. It's just a messenger from God. I just happen to look like one. That's all. And I just took advantage of, what I look like. Let me build on that. I've noticed here that you got a lot of people talking about this crypto. Shock, the only way we're gonna get some new judges, man, is we need to eliminate that lifetime appointment. Judges and politicians should have term limits. And if we never put term limits on these judges and these politicians, ain't nothing gonna change. Ain't nothing gonna change. You see, because when these judges get these lifetime appointments, they'll do any of that. I give you a case example. Look at that woman down there in Florida, Cannon, Judge Cannon. How she is doing everything she can to in favor of Trump, because she got a lifetime appointment. She got a lifetime appointment, but yet no regular people like you and me can get the favor that she's giving to Trump. She's bending over backwards to do that. And all of his cases, he's trying to get moved to Florida so she can have sway over those cases. So if we don't get term limits, ain't nothing gonna change, man. Ain't nothing gonna change. And that's the problem. Look at Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer and Nancy. Them old motherfuckers should have been gone. They won't give nobody new a chance. You can't get no new voices in. You can't get no new opinions in. Okay? Well, yeah. About the same way. The same way. And see, and they don't, and they already showing you They really don't care about the lives of Americans because, and they lying to us about how many people have been killed. We've been lied to about how many people, how many soldiers have actually lost their lives in this war already. And I'm sure if the truth would come out, man, you'd be shocked how many soldiers have been killed. But none of them politicians or him, children would get, even Netanyahu's son is down there on the beach in Miami. He ain't fighting. He down there on the beach in Miami. See, their children not gonna get in harm's way. Term limits, we can't. Well, listen. Do I think you need an ID to vote? Absolutely. You need an ID for everything else? Then you should have an ID to vote. And in 2026, if somebody say they ain't got an ID, they trifling. You got to have an ID just to go to bank. You got to have an ID for everything you do. Everything you do, you need an ID for it. So how is it in 2026 you can't get an ID? How come you can't get an ID? I can understand back in the day when they didn't want to see because everything was being done manually then. But that ain't the case now. That's not the case. It's virtually impossible to do anything, okay, to without an ID. So how is it that you want people to vote without an ID? That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And that old weak, limp dick Hakeem Jeffries is the man. He need to get his ass up out of there. He's a limp dick, weak motherfucker. He is. Hakeem Jeffries. That he ain't got no spine whatsoever. And see, they need somebody to walk up in there on Capitol Hill with a big ass stick and start knocking some folks upside the head. Then you'll get something done. Okay? Then you'll get something done. But stop being afraid, man, to stand up and speak up for yourself. Let me say that again. Stop being afraid to stand up and speak up for yourself. And sometimes they ain't gonna appreciate it. Sometimes, they gonna try to make you out to be the villain. Because I remember and see, a lot of this stuff I learned back in the 90s when I was fighting I'm probably the only civilian in DC that has fought corruption in Metropolitan Police Department, and some cops actually went to jail. I'm probably the only civilian that has ever fought the corruption. Took me 7 years, but they kicked my ass, man. That's why I ran for mayor. Okay? I made a complaint to Internal Affairs, and they told me I was lying. Sergeant Everett, never forget him, came over and said, Mr. Foley, the only thing we could find was you don't want to adhere to the vending rules and regulation. And I said, man, if I got to run for mayor to tell this story, I will. He looked at me and said, sir, you're a street vendor. Don't even waste your time. Ain't nobody gonna listen to you. And I said, what you say? He said, you're a street vendor. Don't waste your time. Ain't nobody gonna listen to you. I was offended. I should have listened. I walked right into Board of Election. Man, when I got to do the run for mayor, they said, raise your right hand. Here's some petition. We need 2,500 valid signatures. And I went out and got 4,000 to get on the ballot. And got about 195 votes. Didn't have no money and no organization. And got about 195 votes. Sure did. At least I didn't blink. I didn't blink. I got some votes. I sure did. I sure did. And I've been on the scene ever since, man. Ever since then, I've been involved. I've been a community activist ever since. Ever since, man. I mean, I can show you articles in the Washington Post about me. I can show you articles. They know who I am. They sure do. So that's man. And look, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Um, you think this sergeant hasn't talked to the sergeant he told me to email? You think he ain't? You think he hasn't? And see, and let me show y'all something. Oh, and this is important. Stay off that damn phone when you complaining. Get off that damn phone and put it in writing. Okay? All right? If you're gonna file a complaint, when you start doing shit like this, see, that phone is hearsay. But when it's in writing, you got some proof. Let me say that shit again. All right? When you start complaining, get off that damn phone. Okay? That's hearsay. Put it in writing. Okay? And he just gave me, this sergeant, his email to talk, and I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm doing it tonight. So he'll have it first thing in the morning. He'll have it. And I'm going to explain to him. Send him some pictures. Send him the video. Okay? So he can turn back and say, he can say the same old dumb shit. Now I got it in writing. Because I already told the guy, listen, I already told him in my initial, wait a minute, let me find it. What I told him. Oh, I've talked to a couple of sergeants at that location, and they both seem to back him up. So I'd like to move forward with you. See, I already told them that, talking to the sergeants, they seem to be backing him up. Yes, I am. I sure am. I'm still, that's my brand. That's my brand. That's why I'm still wearing it. And you still recognizing my ass too. And be careful, cause I do have some people up in here that'll block your ass. So be careful. Be careful. All right. I got some people up in here. Okay, but that's just the thing, man. And I and I feel good because at least I got a response. And see, and here's another thing. He's the only one I've had a problem with. There's some guys that in that park police actually really like me. In that same division where he is. Cause even when my phone, see, when I was going live, when he arrested me, I was live on X. When he arrested me, I was live. And he took my phone from me and just dropped it off in the bag, and it was still, matter of fact, the battery ran out. That's why I stopped. It stopped recording. I was in the station, and they were doing an inventory of my stuff, and the phone was still recording. It was still recording. It ran out of battery. That's how, because when I got my private bag, I looked, damn, how come my phone Ran out of bed, man. It was still, and I didn't know. And one of the girls on X say, you need to listen to that video because that thing went on when they was in jail, when you was in jail. It was still recording. They dropped it in a bag and it didn't cut off. And it was still recording. So you know, I feel pretty good about this. And on top of the fact that I applied for a First Amendment demonstration permit, which lasts for 4 months. I'm waiting to hear back from that. And you can rest assured that with all of this stuff that I'm doing, going to internal affairs, ain't too many of them gonna be anxious to come and mess with me in the near future. Okay, when they see how I'm dealing with this, I don't think it's gonna be too many of them that's gonna say, "Oh, no, we ain't fucking with him because he ain't gonna be sitting down and bitching and itching, and he gonna get involved and start complaining and sending some stuff." Well, no, they didn't say no racist stuff, but the guy that I know, he was pretty. And when I see him, I'm gonna tell him, I'm gonna say, man, I appreciate you the way you're legit. You're legit. Because he did say, man, I've been knowing this guy. I've been knowing him from inauguration. He did say that, and he was training a guy. He was training somebody. And he did say, yeah, man, I know the conductor. I've been knowing him since inauguration. And he ain't say nothing disparaging either. Okay? He talking about black man always looking for a lawsuit. Now, if you screwed over, why not? If somebody mess over you, why take it? Why just lay down and take it? If they give it to you, take it. And I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. And like I said, man, the guy said, listen, this is what he said. This is what he said. This is what he said. Hold on. Let me get it. The case officer is the best person to speak regarding that information. However, as you may not wish to speak with Officer Troyer, his supervisor may be able to assist. Here's his email. Now you think Internal Affairs ain't gonna tell this sergeant, listen, I'm giving you his email to email you? You think he ain't putting him on I have no idea what racism is in control, man. Racism runs shit. That's why black folk can't be racist. They can only be prejudiced. They can't be racist because black people don't run shit. We don't control shit. So we can't be racist. We can only be prejudiced. And that's the difference. Racism is in charge. Racism controls. What are black folk in charge of? What black folk run? Okay, I might be. But isn't it kind of ironic that you can sit here and be as disparaging, but your ass is up here on my live? I mean, make it make sense. Make it make sense. You want to sit here and be disparaging, but you in my live. You got to come and see what I'm talking about because you probably can't go live yourself. You probably can't go live yourself because you ain't got no subscribers. So you had to come up in here and try to be disruptive. In fact, let me see who you are. Let me look at you. Since let me look at you. Let me look at you, see who you are. Let me look at you, see who you are. Let me go to your channel here. 26 subscribers. Since 2013, all you got is 26 subscribers. 13 years. You've been on this platform and you ain't got but 20, what? Let me see. 26 subscribers in 13 years, and you gonna come up here like you got big dick. You swinging big dick. Man, get the fuck up out of here. Obviously, you ain't got nothing to say people interested in. Cause you can't do nothing yourself. Uh, 13 years, you ain't tried in 13 years? I mean, 13 years and you ain't never tried, but you can get on everybody else's live. You know, like you an expert. Man, get the fuck up out of here. I don't even want to block you. Get out of here. You're on the wrong playground, buddy. This is not the Lil Dick playground. Why don't you go back to the Lil Dick playground where you belong? And that's where you need to be, on the Lil Dick playground. Shit, this ain't the Lil Dick playground, buddy. So find somebody else. Go get on somebody else's live. Get up out of here. Shadow band. Yeah, I bet you are. Damn. See what I'm talking about? Yeah. Now, y'all see what I'm talking about now? You see, this is a good example of what I'm talking about. That's why you can't let everybody upset you. Look at him. This guy got 26 damn subscribers and gonna come in here and try to belittle me. And he can't even go live. He can't go live. Because you got to have 1,000 subscribers before you can even go live. On YouTube, used to could go live with any amount of subscribers. But they raised the threshold to 1,000. And obviously he ain't got enough content to interest anybody. Okay, so that's the way it is. I'm excited. And boy, let me show y'all. Look at that. Bam. Coming soon. Matter of fact, I'm talking with my website person tomorrow morning about doing my website. We go back because she did my DC Black Tours website. So I when I get some more money, I'm gonna launch that. I'm gonna get her to put that back up. But I had one of my supporters in here sent me some money the other night. I took that money and put it as a down payment to get my website started. I said, finally, man, I'm gonna get my website going. I'm gonna get it going. So and I'm gonna have me another sign with stop hating each other because you disagree, truthconductor.com. So people will be able to Google it right there and see what I'm all about. And see and really, you know, that will kind of legitimize hey man, I serve a good God, bro. I serve a good God. I serve a good God. I don't know what kind of God you serve, but I serve a good God, and He makes a way. Even with this guy doing the stuff that he done, man, my head's still above water. I still got support. I'm still, my head is still above water. I still and still look good too. See, you coming in here, Bernie. What's going on, buddy? Man, this guy right here, Bernie, is no, it ain't working, man. They took it from me, Bernie. They deactivated it and they won't tell me. They said I violated their terms of service, but they won't tell me what my violation was. I just, man, after about 7 or 8 times trying to find out, man, what I do, they won't tell me. So I just said, okay, I had to do it out. I had to find another way. This guy right here, man, I said this now this year, 2020, 2025, this guy, Bernie, right here, y'all see him? He was my biggest giver on Cash App in 2025. My biggest giver was this guy, Bernie, right here. And my next biggest giver was Everett Overton. Man, a lot of y'all, if y'all ain't checking out, if y'all not checking out Everett Overton, man, you need to check that brother out. Okay? You need to check him out. Cause especially some of you young boys. Y'all need to check him out. Okay, let me give you something. Let me give you a little taster.
So,
Look, this is what I'm talking about right here.
I would encourage you to do that again. You know, if anybody wants to speed up the process and get me to go live for an hour to discuss or unpack a topic of your choosing, hit the Cash App with $1,000 and you will, it'll probably go over an hour. I say the time allotted is an hour, but it'll probably go hour and a half, 2 hours. But $1,000 can speed up the process. If you want me to review some content, if there's something you want my opinion on, you want me to, unpack something, I'd be happy to do that. $1,000 will get me to do that quicker.
Boy, he up in this game. Wait a minute. Let me show you. Let me show you something.
Women, man, when they love you, when they love a man, when they're into a man, I'm gonna try to keep this PG, man. But when a woman loves you, she really loves you. Women, man, when they love you,
see, a lot of you young bucks, man.
and we'll discuss the topic.
Y'all need to check.
Making women wait on texts back, but you're not busy because you've been staring at that dating app or staring at social media all day. Then the woman that you've been waiting on to text you, and then you like this. You've been by the phone, she texts you, then you go, that's not manly at all. Right? But if you have an iPhone and you don't have your red notifications turned off, I promise you're probably trying to act busy. Just be a man about your... See, and then here's the other problem. You don't know what you want to tell the girl. Because if you knew what you wanted to tell the girl, you'd have no problem talking to the girl, communicating with the girl. See,
man, y'all check it. All you young brothers, you young bucks out there, man, y'all check Everett Overton. Check him out. Okay? Check him out. All right? Yeah, I know you be... I know you be sponsoring them shows, Bernie. I know you sponsoring them shows, brother. I know that. I've heard him say, man, this Bernie is sponsoring this show today. I've heard that. Yes, I have. I've heard that. I know. That's how, hey, listen, this is how I met Bernie, through Everett. That's how I met him, through Everett. That's how I met him. Sure did. That's how I met Bernie, man. But now this year, my biggest giver is Laura. She's my biggest giver this year. Okay? She's way out in front of the pack. Laura is way out in front of the pack. This year, she's my biggest giver. My biggest supporter this year is Laura. But last year, Bernie was number 1, Everett was number 2. That's straight up. Straight up. On my Cash App, man. And you think, and now that they done deactivated my Cash App, I'm still functioning. I'm still here. Okay? I might can't get no money on Cash App, man. I even had a guy named Jefferoni. Sometimes he come up in here. He's another one of my this year. He's number 2. Laura is number one. Jefferoni is number two. That's right. That's right. I'm telling you, man. And you know, like Laura, out of the blue, man, she texts me and say, "Hey, you all right?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, you know, I've been hearing my daughter called me and told me check on you. let me. Your Zelle still the same? Yeah. Let me hit you up. I'm serious. Out of the blue." And like when Jefferoni gave us some money, man, one time he sent me $1 on PayPal. And I said, "Jeff, man, thank you for that dollar." And then the next thing I know, he sent me $100. I said, "Damn, Jeff, thank you, brother." And man, wow. Bernie, thank you for that $100, man. Thank you. Thank you for that $100, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you, man. Shit, that's the first time I ever got that much money on for thank you, man. That's the first time I done got that much. Thank you, brother. Thank you. You the first. May that be many, 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 many more after you. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. But see, if and see, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. If your heart is right, God gonna bless you. Let me say that again. If your heart is right, man, God gonna bless you. Only thing you got to do is not give up and quit. Just keep your heart right. Damn, true conductor, how do I keep my heart right? You don't take advantage of nobody, man. You say what you mean what you say. It's just that simple. Okay? Just keep your heart right. Don't take advantage of nobody. Don't use nobody. Don't cheat nobody. Don't steal from nobody. That's when you got a good heart. Didn't say you wouldn't cuss a mofo out, but you ain't gonna take advantage of nobody when you got a good heart. Okay? Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you, Bernie. Thank you, brother. Thank you. But that's that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And I'm a living witness. Man, you keep your heart right, God gonna bless you. He'll open up some doors for you. Okay? He can't bless you wrong. Let me say that again. God can't bless you wrong. You can't be saying one thing and doing something else and thinking God gonna bless you. No, he ain't blessing that. God ain't gonna bless wrong. He can't bless wrong. So you might as well do right. I told y'all, man, I ain't seen my wife. This year be 7 years since I've seen my wife. I could be screwing out of both legs if I want to, and my wife wouldn't even know it. But how can I expect for God to bless me and I can't be faithful to my wife when she ain't around? See, so if I'm faithful when she ain't around, I ain't gonna have no problem being faithful when she next to me. See, it ain't gonna be hard. It won't be hard at all when she's sitting right next to me. Cause I have the discipline that I respect her. God can't bless wrong, man. He can't bless wrong. And too many people are doing any and everything and still looking for God to bless them. And it can't happen. Can't happen. It ain't gonna happen. So do the right thing, man. Do the right thing. You'll get it back. And sometimes it ain't easy. See, this is easier said than done. Being right by people, because sometimes, people get caught up and they start, wavering, doubting. Don't lose faith. You gotta keep your faith, man. You gotta keep it. All right. So, I'm finna get on here now. Email this sergeant. See, can I get my stuff back so I can get back out there and make me some money. I gotta get out there and make me some money, man. Talk to the people, cause right now we got so much confusion, so much chaos going on that people are distracted. This is what I'm gonna tell y'all. I've been seeing a lot about this XRP. Thank you, Bernie. Thank you, brother. Thank you so very much. I've been seeing a lot about this XRP. All of these people talking about, man, you could be a millionaire. See, first of all, that cryptocurrency can vanish just like that. And they gonna get people to start dumping a whole lot of money into that, and then they gonna snatch the rug from under people. This is what's gonna happen. Because they don't intend for the average person to be able to experience any wealth. So when everybody's jumping on stuff, that's what you stay away from. Let me say that again. When everybody's jumping on something, they gonna let a few of them get some money, but eventually they gonna snatch the rug from under that XRP and people gonna lose everything. It's gonna vanish just like that. Well, how come you can't invest in your own ideas? Why you got to use somebody else's idea to invest in? How come you ain't got your own ideas? See, you depending on cryptocurrency, man, invest in yourself. That's what you need to do. You need to be coming up with you some rags to riches story for yourself. And see, and when it's your idea, you getting all of it. You ain't sharing it with nobody. But you jump up in that XRP, man, you're going to have to share that money with somebody. You got to share that. That's not 100%. You're going to share that. And people are going into debt trying to jump on these hot ideas to get a quick dollar. Because they man, XRP going to make a bunch of millionaires. Yeah, and a bunch of millionaires gonna get the rug snatched right from under them. That's what's gonna happen. They just getting people, lining them up for the fall, for the okie doke. They just lining them up. And every time, I'm telling you, every time something become the craze, don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. When it's what everybody else is doing, don't mess with it. Get your own. Okay? Get your own, man. And you'll be better off. Okay? So that's it, man. I got to go here and I'm gonna go in prayer and ask God to guide my fingers. Sending this police officer, this sergeant, and email to get my property back. Got my speaker, got my sign, got my money, my chair, got all of it. They got all my stuff. And I've been walking around with a boombox. What's going on? I've been walking around with a big old boombox on my shoulder, man. You know, wearing me out. But I'm blessed though. I'm blessed, man. Okay, so man, I'll talk to y'all later. See you later.